Eric, what's up, buddy?
Stay because tomorrow needs you. Would have been better if you could hear it.
It's all well. You threw the microphone out of the way.
I know I adjusted it. It sounds awesome. Huh?
And then all of a sudden threw your hat on right before the show.
Get her done.
Is that a Sit Rep 22 hat?
Sit Rep 22.
Nice. Repping Tom. Welcome to the Contagion Effect, where we talk to your veterans and talk about mental health and just learn about the awesome veterans that are in the community and doing amazing things. So, Eric, welcome back, buddy.
Hi, bud.
It was a nice little vacation for you.
Oh, dude, I don't want to brag or nothing, but I'm just saying, like, I'm from the Bahamas now. I'm putting that down.
You're You're officially Bohemian.
I'm a Bohemian.
Okay.
Bohemian.
Because you've been there now twice.
Yeah, I've left skin on like 4 different rocks in the middle of the freaking no-name island.
Okay.
Yeah, there's too much, dude. It's a whole show.
Did you get bit by any pigs?
No, and so.
Or did you have to deal with anything else from?
Upon my recommendation is I would always take the first session if you're going to go swimming with the pigs. Okay, because the first session feeds all the pigs, and then a process occurs, and then when the second, and then exactly, and then the second session, then the transpiration of you're lost, dude. You already lost. Bourbon Battle's got you.
Tonto lost. So Tonto's already having a rough day.
No, yeah, he's having
today's already a rough day for Tonto.
Got it. Copy that.
Yeah, Tonto's already having a rough day.
Yeah. Hey. You know what?
And we got
survive,
Triple B
bro.
in the house.
Just remember, survive the day. Okay, carpe diem.
You're making me nervous. How much you're grabbing?
Carpe diem. Well, I got a wardrobe change for you. So
oh boy, oh boy. So, okay.
Wardrobe change. I could show off my tan.
Yeah,
bro. Straight up.
You have the Bohemian tan.
The Bohemian tan. So last year when we went in June, and it was hot.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
And so we went, and it was hot, and it was hotter in July, which it's hot. It was 93, 60% humidity. So it's like 107, right?
Right.
You just embrace it. You take a shower, you put deodorant on.
And you need another shower within 2 seconds.
Dude, that's how excited I was. See?
You were excited to feel like you need to take another shower?
Dude, it was awesome. If anyone wants to go on a cruise out of Port Canaveral, And dude, the topper, we get to see freaking SpaceX launch rocket 11:58 at night. We're sitting on the beach.
That's pretty cool.
Bro,
that one is pretty cool.
It was dope. So
yeah, it does sound like
Louisiana, anything south of like that right there, like anything south. Much respect for you guys.
Couldn't live there. Can't deal with the humidity.
Beautiful silky skin because it's hydrated from your sweat.
All the time.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was great. Again, it's a whole process. The 2 youngins booked their own flight and stuff. They booked their own flight before the 4. So there was
Miss Mike.
There were 6 of us that went, and the 2 youngins went to North Carolina.
Exactly. Thank you for joining us, Mark. In a few minutes.
Yes.
We'll see you in a few minutes.
In a few minutes.
Exactly.
And we are excited to have you guys. Amazing group of people that are.
So I still want to hear from my Bohemian friend here.
Yeah. So we go. So, I mean, it was awesome. Like it was everything. It was cool. But anyways, the 2 youngins, they've said, well, we'll just book a flight to North Carolina instead of going from SFO straight to Orlando. They're like, oh, well, we get to go see another airport, which apparently that's a thing, is to go travel to different airports. So they did, and they get there, and there's a lightning storm. And so they decide, their flight got delayed like 2 hours.
So they didn't get to enjoy as much of the Bahamas as you did.
Well, we all made it. And then we went to Gatorland and had some Gator nuggets.
Gator nuggets.
That was hot.
Yeah.
And not hot in a good way. Not it was HAWT hot.
Hot.
It was hot.
You paid the next day hot.
Oh, dude. So after we did the Gatorland, that's when we went to the beach and swam while the lightning was striking out yonder. And then
safe.
It was great. Greetings.
What's up, Brian?
Beroof.
Hello, Mom.
Mama Alec. Good evening. Salutations to everyone. Thank you for joining the Contagion Effect Show.
So okay, that's all of Florida. Now let's get us to the
we
Bahamas.
Get on the boat. We get on the boat and we set sail, and it's just fun. It's just fun. They had the little dinghies, and we went out, and so we went and swam with the pigs and had I don't even want to call it a barbecue. It wasn't a barbecue, but it was fun. We had a very enjoyable time.
Good.
Everybody lathered up with sunblock 70, dude. No, legit 70.
Bunch of
multiple layers.
Bunch of pale ales.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I swam.
There's a video on Facebook.
I swam around the pigs.
He stayed away from them.
I did. I swam deeper in the water because those little fat bastards don't swim real well. And so they have like a whole protocol. You got a little sticker thing with a hot dog on the end or apple or whatever.
And they come chase it down.
Oh, dude. They will attack. They will attack. Yeah. she can be Bohemian.
Hey, she was just Floridian, right?
She was a Floridian. You're only about, I don't know, 49 nautical miles out eastward.
There you go.
Yeah, it was fun, dude. It was amazing.
Something else happened while you were there.
Yeah, and something else happened, which is on Facebook, and I'm not happy about it. I mean, I'm happy about it, but
you sure you want to put it out like that?
Yeah, no. Listen, it's a full circle moment. Obviously, we raise our kids so they can become functioning adults,
right?
And so the oldest daughter got proposed to, and she did say yes. Which I was like,
congrats.
I'm like, hey, Contreras, how would you have handled that one? He's like, yeah, one of us would have came back.
Right.
So no, it was awesome. It was fun. It was cool. He did a good job, and he's a good kid. He's a good young man, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, he's not a kid.
So yeah, we're excited about it. No date set yet, but
but it happened.
It happened. Yeah, she's got the ring and all that good stuff.
Congrats, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. It's exciting. It's not exciting. It is exciting, but it just means we're getting older.
Right.
So,
well, then it's a good time to play Gary because she's going to need to figure some new rights.
Well, hey,
right?
I would love to listen to Gary Miller Mobile Tax Service.
There you go. Do you dread having to do your taxes? Does the mere thought of it make your head spin? Miller's Mobile Tax Service is here for you. We will handle your individual or business taxes. We will come to you to prepare your taxes. We are skilled, professional, and ready to get started for you. Call 209-678-8515. Just had him come and do a trust too. So
nice.
You can do trust
there
as
you
well.
Go.
There you go. We got your 6. Congrats. Look at this.
Congrats. Thank you.
Gramps.
So you need that's an autocorrect mistake on yours. That needs to be a U for grumpy. I'm going to be grumpy, Grandpa.
He is.
So yeah. So no, it was fun, dude. It was fun. It was great, and sailed back and had fun.
Derek, I still have too many jobs, so it's brutal. That's why I'm exhausted right now. I want to get rid of something, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And we're working on something else. So
yeah.
So hopefully that works out.
That'd be cool.
Anyways, so trip back though. How'd the youngins do on the trip back? Because didn't they have a little issue again?
So because travel is super awesome, when it's thundering and lightning and all that stuff, the airplane that has an A and then an A next to it, so they're to get like the A and the A are together on the airplane.
Yeah.
Said we're not going. Like they literally just said we quit. We're not going to SFO. Figure it out. Now the good thing is we got there literally
they
like
threw
7
their
hours
stuff on the tarmac.
Yeah, they said, listen, like here's the keys. They're like, here, dude, here's
sorry,
the keys.
Derek.
Yeah. So they're like, hey, here's the keys. Just figure it out. And so they actually ended up on our flight with the 50th state that became part of the union, that airport or that airplane company.
Yeah.
Totally awesome. And we love them.
50th.
What's the 50th?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm playing. I got you.
They're the last to the union.
Yeah.
First in our hearts,
We have some guests that
we
are
love
from
some
there.
guests from up
Right?
there.
We got Tonto and all them. So
I know we're going over about 20 seconds, but I just got, so I'm training this week and literally I'm like, oh yeah, man, I can't wait to go to Juneau, Alaska, and like next year for my birthday. And the dude that I'm training goes, that's really a place? I'm like no, dude. Like, yeah, Juneau is literally like, I'm like, oh, there's no helping you.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, dude.
Yeah,
we have to worry about the world that is behind us.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It is.
It's amazing. But
all right, let's get this started.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, the times and places they may change, but one thing stays the same. The stories that they tell about going through hell. If you think they wouldn't do it all over again, well, you just don't know them. The memories that they own of the ones who didn't make it home, yeah, sure do miss them, but they keep them all living in the stories that they tell.
You know, besides Scotty, you know what I love is just kind of looking back and thinking about some of those interviews and talking to Duke, and I know he's into new things now. And then Rich and Kathy,
yeah,
that was a great interview. So kind of cool. So I will let you.
Dude, 74 episodes.
That's awesome.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is.
It's not 74 people because there's a lot of people that were involved in everything.
Right.
Multiple people, as we have tonight.
And it took us a little bit to figure out our niche. But we're there. All right, buddy. Go ahead.
Tomato.
Go ahead.
Well, because we always like to say, hey, welcome to the Contagion Effect. And everybody in the comment section, thank you for joining us live. That's where we found our next guests.
Was in the comments.
And everyone's like, oh, you got to get them. You got to get them. They're doing great things, which they are. Amazing things. And it's been one of those wormhole that you get in there and you're
what's
like,
up, Shannon?
Shannon Book, what's cracking? So I'm going to start it with this here. I'm just going to run the
show, Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy, what's up? Hey, I'm going to roll the bottom, right? And so that's
Okay.
going to let everyone know who it is, right? The People's Patriot Project.org, right? Go check it out right now. Like, go check it out. It's amazing what they're doing. I want to introduce to you Mark E. Petersen and Andrea Eichmann.
We should have asked
right?
before.
It's Eichmann, but yeah.
Eichmann.
Yeah. So anyways, welcome to the Contagion Effect. Thank you guys for answering your email, and we love having you guys here.
And being willing to wait 8 weeks or so since, because it was Triple B, I think, when we met you guys, right?
Yep.
Could have been.
Yep. I think it was. I don't know. That was like 2 months ago. So 2 months ago now.
Who, by the way, was the first commenter and knocked Tonto off of his perch of 4 weeks running.
Was Mark?
It was.
Yeah.
Triple B.
And Tonto gets very, very, very sore about that. Nana Penny in the house.
What's up, Mama? Love you. How are you?
Shannon, let anyone in the house, don't they?
We knew what you meant, Shannon. You're good. You know, the English language doesn't work well for many of us, sometimes, especially when you're typing on a keyboard or on a phone.
And again, he's from
Look at, and there's Triple B right there.
It's like that. No, thanks for joining us. And we always start off. We want to start off from where you guys, grew up and how this became a thing. And so we'll start with Andrea. Where you grew up and
a little bit of your background.
That's what I meant to say.
There it is.
Perfect. Well, so as I'm in Florida and wanting to be bohemian, I did grow up all my life in Minnesota. So that's pretty much why I would like to be. I don't care as long as it's warm every day. And I don't care about this heat too. It can happen.
There you go. You can be in San Diego next weekend like Shannon.
Go Shannon to San Diego.
Yeah.
So that didn't narrow my scope though. Growing up southwestern Minnesota, almost as southwestern as you can go, and small town is cool. I guess that's where I learned my values and my morals, and my compass was set right. And though I never served myself, I have a serving personality. I serve.
Apparently, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, and so. I've always been a little enthralled with the I guess the excitement and the activity of like first responders and the military and the things. There's a short period in time I thought I would be military, and then I thought I'd be a lawyer, and then I became a teacher and a mom and all that good stuff. So
What do you teach? What do you teach?
It slowed down. So that brought me fast forward through all that life, and I went on a teaching. I don't know. I met Petersen at some big teaching convention, and he had these ideas, these things he wanted to do, and it was a big piece. And I asked a million questions, and then it was okay, let me tell you one more time. This is how this would work, and I kind of started to fall in line. It was very intriguing, and it didn't matter. Really, I liked the whole premise of it, and it was helping and supporting veterans and first responders, and that it kind of touched me, and so I asked what I could do to help out. And it's weird because it does tie into teaching as well. Not just that it's a service industry, but that there are so many of our kids who are children of these people serving. And so that tied right into the way I looked at things in the classroom, as much as the teachers that have served, the staff that has served. And so it just really tied together. And then it made my summers really busy as well. So in a very good, amazing way, I meet people like Shannon Book and Triple B and Scotty Hastings and Jeremy. And I mean, it's never ending. The people that you get to meet and the good that they want to do. And it really has restored my hope and my trust in people. And they've been very good to me, having not served. There are some who will tell you that you can't do this if you haven't served because you don't know. And I don't know. There's a lot I don't know and a lot I can't imagine or understand, but I will try with every ounce of me to be that person, to help and to understand.
Sometimes some of the comments get pretty funny.
And every
Thank
time
you,
it's
Derek.
when there's like a serious conversation going on, and I start laughing. So I apologize.
Eric,
we know exactly how this works. And
yeah.
comment, and you're like, we're on the most inappropriate time to post a comment, and boom, here it is.
Yeah, well, it's gonna get. I mean, here's the thing. Our show that's why we said we go live, and it's gonna be, you could be having a heartfelt moment and somebody's gonna bust out with something. That's what happens when you do get a bunch of veterans in a room together. And Andrea, I want to speak to that real quick, as I actually hit the microphone for once. It's kind of crazy how small the world's gotten as far as with us, even, because we've met all these people, and now like we're all this huge circle. And it just keeps growing and growing and growing, and but yet it's so small. It's amazing on how you said that, because meeting Shannon and meeting Scotty and you guys and Triple B and all the Derek that's out there, and just all the people that we've had the opportunity, and like you, we're not veterans, and we've been embraced in the community, so it's pretty cool. Now I know we learned before the show that your dad was a Marine, right? I'm sorry, he was National Guard.
Yeah,
sorry, it wasn't. And then your cousin's also in right now.
Yes, and my cousin is he's Iowa National Guard, and so he was my ring bearer, and that was a long time ago. And he's on his fourth tour. Actually, he came home surprisingly at his another cousin's wedding, and so that was his fourth tour.
Wow.
Yeah But he moved up in ranks. He's got all these little kids at home, and that's just another piece of my admiration for the things, the sacrifices that are made, and the time that's put in. So
well, thank you. So Mark, we'll move over to you. So where'd you grow up?
I'm a dirt kicker from Cody, Wyoming.
Dirt kicker. You're just talking to us about ice fishing. Now you're a dirt kicker.
You're a dirt kicker.
Well, it's Wyoming's a little bit far removed from everywhere. Every time I went someplace, everyone made jokes about whether we had electricity yet or if we're still riding horses, and they weren't wrong. We learned through those processes as I was growing up, but I did transplant out to Minnesota. So I have a couple of, I speak 3 languages, English, Wyomingish, and Minnesotanish.
Minnesota. That's funny. That is well. You know what's funny about the horses thing is that I was born in Long Beach, grew up in the Bay, like San Francisco, San Jose, and then we moved out to the area we were telling you about, out into the valley where it's more agricultural. And the first day we're literally driving in, people go riding by on a horse, and I'm like, what? You know, I'm only like 16 going, what in the hell? Like, that's something we see on TV. And they're just chilling, riding a horse down the street, you know, cars driving by. I'm like, where in the hell are you moving me, Mom? Like, I'm not ready for this.
Cowboy capital of the world, bro.
It's labeled.
Oakdale,
it's one of the biggest rodeos in the world.
Oakdale, bud.
I'm sure Tonto probably knows
I was
it.
just gonna say, you said rodeos. That's like ringing a bell.
Yeah, Tonto. Where's Tonto at?
He's having a rough day.
He is.
We get it.
All right. So Mark grew up in Wyoming. So what made you decide to join the military?
It was always so. My father served, my grandfather served. The classic going through all the pieces. I did have a little different track in that some people were interested in my ability to play some sporting type games, and so my track was a little bit different. And then I made some poor decisions. I let some adults make some poor decisions, but I take ownership of it. And I didn't quite get to do the level of playing I wanted to do, but actually, after I got out here to Minnesota, I got to play at all levels when I got out here, and I would have had that opportunity if I was back in Wyoming. So,
what sport?
A little football, a little baseball.
Pigskin.
Okay. What position in football?
I played the entire field except for quarterback.
Oh,
nice.
So high school, you played everything.
From high school, I graduated at weighing 167 pounds. I got away from that weight pretty quick in my first couple of years of college ball, and they changed me up a little bit. But 167. I played line in high school because that's big in Wyoming at that time. But not as big as some of the farm boys, that's for sure. But once I got to college and stuff, they switched me up. Once I got to the semi-pros, I played a lot of fullback and tight end and stuff like that. And then yeah.
So you're more into blocking?
Well, sure.
Or just running people over?
I like to bang.
There you
and
go.
I don't know how you put that the way however you want
to. we can take that in whatever context.
Right.
Well, so just a little braggadocious moment. My son just won state for high school football. So in California.
Congratulations. In California, that's huge.
Yeah. 1,300 high schools, and they're one of 14 that won state championships because they break it down 14 different divisions.
But they beat a team from Pasadena with a population of 240,000.
Yeah, and we have a population of 7.
Yeah. So a little gotta put that in a little perspective.
Put a little context.
Plus, some SoCal boys didn't know what dirt and mud.
they didn't know what rain was and real grass because they all have
it was
turf fields, and they couldn't handle it.
Man, it was awesome.
God, something about that small town stuff, huh?
Oh yeah.
What is it?
We're farm boy area
now. It's like the topic.
Yeah, small towns is a big thing. That's why I was laughing at you when Andrea said,
"Hey, be careful!
Town
I know. Shadow block. Careful!
Yeah. 5AA, Brian. Anyway, so Mark, you went into the Army originally, or into the National Guard?
I did into the Army. Did a little stint. It was short. We may or may not did something down in Central America that no one knows about, but you don't even get a ribbon for it. So it is what it is. And then I joined, I was in the artillery, and I did that. And then I stayed in with the Guard with Minnesota as I was going through school, and did that for 14 years.
Wow. Any deployments?
No deployments.
No deployments.
I was part of a headquarters battery at the end, so we did all of the logistics for the Iraqi Freedom and Desert Storms.
Okay.
Part of the Red Bull division.
Yeah, nice. Very nice. All right. So, obviously you guys met. So Mark, I know you said earlier you were a teacher.
Yes.
And you teach history, right?
I do teach history, licensed social studies, history, and driver's ed.
Oh, you are a brave man.
Well, You know, in the early years, you need all the money you can find, but I found out that the guys in the gym were making, you know, a lot more money than the guys who were putting their life on the line. That's really weird how that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're still putting your life on the line.
Yeah, there are a lot of empty bottles back there on the mantle. I'm just saying. So, driver's ed, you know. No, I love it. No, not at all. Not at all.
The cartoon characters instead.
Not at all. I love it.
That's what happens when you're friends with Triple B too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We haven't had any blessings from that relationship yet, other than the hard work and effort that Jonathan puts into everything.
Wow.
Oh, spirits. We haven't had any spirit blessings yet.
Right. Yeah. That's my
Jonathan.
Because
I don't know what's happening here. My throat needs clearing. Anyway, so you guys, as Andrea was saying, you guys actually met at a conference, teacher conference.
She asked a lot of questions then. I think she asked more questions now.
And the same ones in a different geographical order.
Like I had a dime for every time I said I already told you this.
Look at she.
She just waited.
I love
so many things in that brain of his. It's hard to keep up. It's hard to, good ideas. There's just a lot of them. Yeah.
They just keep coming. You need to have like the dictaphone thing.
The what?
I do.
Yeah, the what?
The what?
All right. So you guys meet. So what gets you on the car? I mean, obviously there's how many teachers there? Maybe hundreds, if not more.
At this particular event, 300. And it just, you know, I'm big into camaraderie, like building relationships, having conversations. And, you know, when you get into the leadership, and we're actively members in both the NEA and the AFT, the teacher unions.
Okay.
And that's what kind of backs these conferences. There aren't, and I'm just going to put it out there aren't very many conservatives in the network.
Yeah.
And so we do tend to find each other. We built an organization within the National Education Association called Heroes in the Classroom. And so that was kind of actually the start of where we went. We started that down in Houston. And I mean, I knew there was a bigger piece, but this was a piece where I was making relevant in the world that we taught. And because Philando Castile was shot and killed by a police officer here in Minnesota. Terrible story.
Oh, yeah.
He was part of the educational system, and a lot of very angry, bitter, hostile educators. And me and Andrea go on a education march one day, which I'm not a fan of marches. If you're blocking the road and preventing people from being where they're supposed to be, we don't know who we're stopping from making it to see their loved ones die or their baby or this and that. And so I'm not a fan of marches, and I will not march on a bridge ever. But in the middle of this, we hear an F the police. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute here.
That's not what we're trying to do.
The Education Minnesota president actually had me carrying the Minnesota placard, which I'm fine with. And I handed it off. I said, I'm done with this. And we rallied, and I went back and I said, you know what? We have children in our classroom that have mommies and daddies that are serving both as first responders and in the military. And some of your staff are also veterans and first responders. Yeah. So this language can't happen in these type of events. And they've been very open and receptive to that. And I'm working on some other pieces with that. But I mean, ultimately, having conversations like that with people of like mind, we come together, and it's been amazing. The start of the People's Patriot Project at the beginning was almost all educators to start off with.
So is that where People's Patriot Project came from? Is you guys meeting up and then you kind of started, or is that something you already had going and then you and Andrea crossed paths?
We like to say we all the time because that's did I come up with the pieces? I'd like to say that we're all kind of wired the same, and so I'm just the voice box of how I got out there. I started in 2012, and I was putting all the logistics of it together until 2018, which we filed for our nonprofit status.
Okay.
And so that's the big part of the crew you're about ready to get on right there, the ones that pretty much started it off. And there's three educators in that one. There's actually a fourth one that's a vice president, but he's not in there. And so the actual curation of it was when I was a firefighter. I came. Roughly 60% of our country firefighters are all volunteer. And when they are fighting fires for their communities, a lot of times those communities don't have the budget to maintain that fire department. So they're paying for the apparatus, they're paying for the PPE, they're paying for their training, they're paying for their facilities, they're paying for everything out of their pockets as a group. And so you learn how to fundraise, A, but B, you know what? If there were people on the team that needed to have new PPE, we made sure that they had it, and we figured out how to do that. Some of that came out of our pockets. Well, at the end of the year, families didn't have the resources to take a break, go on a vacation. And I realized a lot of times we're meeting in backyards, hanging out with each other, burning some dogs, doing what we got to do. And I realized it was a lot like the camaraderie, the team building you did in the military. And so I'm like, okay, I need to build a one-stop shop resort type facility that first responders, I was thinking firemen and women at that time, can use to go lighten the load. And then as I sat there and I was putting it all together, I'm like, wait a minute. The same emotional attachments to their service is the same that's in the military, fire, police, EMS. All these people need a break. And so I couldn't come up with a name. I didn't know how to do this. It was a project. It's an ongoing project. And I wanted, I believe, my mother was just this amazing red, white, and blue wearing diva that just went to the end all the time wearing a red, white, and blue. I mean, and I'm like,
you knew.
Yeah,
it's got to be Patriot, man. And this was before all the other garbage was coming up. And I'm like, but it's got about we the people. I really attached myself to, the Constitution and that font. And I'm like, we the people, the People's Patriot Project. And then it all came together. And we used that outlandish green that pops off of the digital camo that
it is bright.
Love it.
You can't
It is
not
bright.
see it. And so we want to be recognized. I get that service members walk down the aisle at the grocery store and they don't give two hills of beans whether you realize that they're a firefighter or not. But brothers and sisters, you need to be recognized for your action and your activity and the willingness that you are to run into burning buildings while people are running out. And so that's the part that I want. I'm not the guy that needs a pat on the back, but I know it doesn't feel bad when you get it. And so that's where we're at.
So I do want to take a step back because you leave the military and then we thought you just go into becoming a teacher because I know you went to school and did the reserves, but where'd the firefighter thing fit in the middle of all this?
Yeah, well, after I ETS out of the military, after I ETS out of the military, I knew I needed to do something else. I don't sit still. I can't sit still.
Obviously.
And I was just like, okay, why not? Fighting fire sounds cool. And so,
yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
So as an outsider, this is something though that I became very much aware of. Outsider that's on the inside, but Mark might be, an anomaly. He's the one that did his service and then did firefighting. But as you get deeper in, that's a service personality.
Mm-hmm.
And there are, in our communities, at least in the people that I've come across that are Leos and firefighters and EMS and a lot of the paramedics have served in the military prior to what they're doing now. Doctors and nurses, tons of nurses. The dude who took my blood at Red Cross was an Army medic. And so it just crosses over so much. So not only is the trauma very similar and the emotions and the family situations, but also the experiences are very similar.
Well,
real, I guess.
Right. And isn't it amazing, and we heard this, I remember like Scotty was one of the first ones to say it, that, he comes from the Army, he just felt this need to serve and then continue to serve. Right. And I feel like every time we talk to each one of each one of you as our guests, it's like that just keeps being the theme.
It's the endorphins, and it's that camaraderie, like you were saying. That's what it is.
And it's awesome.
Not a lot of people do.
But to Mark's point, needing, what these firefighters need. And, I know everybody doesn't need a pat on the back, but we got to feel appreciated. We definitely got to feel appreciated. And sometimes we don't show that. Even in our own lives, we can slip up and not show that appreciation. And that's why people start to feel the way they do. So being out there in front, like you guys are with People's Patriot Project, and leading the way and doing those things and showing that love is an amazing thing. So I know you guys you have a podcast, right?
I want to yell at Jason Steiner real quick. He's making a lot of moves down in Nebraska with heroes.
Yeah, we don't know who he is. He's just some guy.
Eh.
Just some guy. He's, I don't know. He's gotten a little event.
I am not putting that on the screen. You can put it on the screen. I am not putting that on.
Yeah,
I'm not.
You don't want to share?
I'm not. Yeah, Jason who
yeah, exactly. Jason who?
Yeah, Jason will be joining us. I believe it's August. I think it's the last week in August, because the 7th is Ken Sally, and then I'm going. Maybe Mike will get to go with me, but I'm going to go to Heroes Talk. We're going to Ashland, Nebraska.
You going, Andrea?
It is.
You guys going?
I think we're gonna try to go with a couple others.
Oh, bro, I've already got Nebraska Brewing saying, yeah, so you need to make a stop. So yeah,
there you go.
Now I just need to get into Gary Miller's luggage, which is going to be more than one carry on, but he's going first class. I mean, I just buy 2 seats. That's probably cheaper than the
Jason with the hero sock.
The hero sock.
We're not going to start that conversation again.
Yeah.
Jason,
on that note, we should do a wardrobe change real quick.
Okay, here you go. Please make sure it happens right. Please make sure it happens right. We don't need a Disneyland event. Nobody wants to see that.
Lost his head.
Eric doesn't really know how to undress, apparently. We'll see.
He must not have been in band, because we did that.
Look at your mom saying, "Don't pick on my friend."
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk about
that. Eric's super excited about the ruck. He's super excited about it. And Derek, I'm not posting that either. Jason 316.
Yeah, well, they're going to have an event, and if you'd like to bring a jacket to turn in, they're going to have multiple jackets there that you can take off. And
that conversation may have went sideways on another chat.
Oh, that was
just
deep.
Speaking from experience. So you guys are all going, huh? That's the plan.
It's the plan.
Yeah.
Nana. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be exciting. I mean, I have stickers. Sorry, Teaches. I've got
Teaches.
Dang it. I have stickers. I have stickers of coming.
Okay, we're just going to take English away from him. I don't know what he's trying to say. Remember, Andrea, I think Eric's having a Mark moment, the gibberish thing.
The gibberish.
Sunday or whatever. Yeah.
Glow in the dark?
Eric's going through. See, he's like a squirrel. Squirrel.
Dude, it's glow in the dark.
He's like one of your students. How old are your students?
Oh my gosh, it is.
Yeah, middle school.
Middle school.
Language arts too. So yeah, keep it going.
No, see, that's My aunt was a math teacher. I was all screwed. Yeah.
Brian's bringing green crayons, no red.
Of course he is.
There you go. All right, let's get to talking. They also have a podcast. Let's talk about the podcast.
Yeah.
Perfect.
What's the name of it? I know the name of it, but what's the name of it?
It is. We got your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime.
And when do you guys post?
We go live. It's just like this. We go live at 1800 every Sunday.
6 at 6. That's the clever name.
It works when you're in the Central Time. We didn't figure that piece out.
You didn't know there was other times.
You might be. We got your 6 at 9. We got your 6 at 5.
Well, at least you're kind of a little more in the middle, so it's not too hard on everybody. Where it's like us, we go live at 6. Oh yeah, you're on the East Coast. We're gonna keep you for 2 hours, so it's gonna be like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock by the time you're done.
And like 80% of our guests have been like East Coasters.
Coast.
So we're like, hey, thanks for joining us. It's 11:37 at night. Good luck.
We got a couple hours left.
Wait, I think that's funny, but not funny today because that's where I'm at.
No.
Yeah. Oh no, we're going like 3 hours tonight. We didn't tell you. Mark didn't tell you.
Sweet. No, that's awesome.
Like,
That is
That's
awesome.
the funniest thing, because you know what? We started off with all good intentions to be 1 hour. And we are hard to get at 2 hour cutoff. And
resemble that statement. We resemble that statement.
We get on here, we have a good time. Andrea was upset at me because of some of our banter, and she's got to cut it down to podcast because we ripped this for a podcast too.
So then I just take the audio and rip it up and cut it up. Yeah.
Much nonsense during this 2 hours of stuff. And I'm like, well, we're enjoying time together and we're building a relationship.
That's perfect. No, it's perfect for video. The audio is tough to cut. It's the same stuff over and over and over. So then that 2 hours and 11 minutes became like 5.5 hours for me to cut it down and redo it.
So Andrea, I have to share because
Thanks.
Eric did something like that to me once while we were watching the show, while we were doing the show. He mentioned where he worked like 5 times, which could be a pretty big problem, mentioning where you work. So I had to go back, and luckily at that time we were pretty much just the audio. There was some video, but the video nobody was really watching at that time. But the audio, I had to literally go through and beep out and listen to the whole show and how many times he said it and go through. I was pissed because it was like 5 hours to re-listen to it. And then
3 hour too, right? Yeah.
So I totally understand, but I will say right now, like once our show's done, we pull the audio and that's the audio that goes. I do not care. All I do is I level it to make sure all the sound is across the same. I don't care from there. It is what it is.
I will admit I have done that at times.
As you should.
I have. Yep. This was so not only did I watch most of it from the car Sunday night, then I watched most of it Monday and then some more of it on Tuesday. And then I just watched the whole thing again today. So it was fun. It was funny and it was fun. And
you must really like Mark. That's a lot of Mark to watch.
It is. Well, Jen Ford was on there. So, and then the new guy.
I got zapped for 4 hours tonight about it. I was just like,
oh, I sent him recordings. I'm like, dude, seriously? Did you hear yourself say this? And I'd cut out a little recording and send it to him. And there was one time he's like, oh my God, I said that. I'm like, yeah, you did. You did say that.
Can we get a little into this? And what
I wonder if I could play it. Do I have it?
That would be awesome. Hey, that's what I love about live shows. You never know what's coming your way.
So let's go this way. So as Andrea's looking for the clip. Oh, never mind. She got it. You got it.
No. I'm gonna mute myself just to make sure.
Okay. Real quick story. So we're interviewing. Never mind, because I forgot his name. I forgot his freaking name. Never mind. I'll figure it out.
Wow, good story.
Yeah, good story. Anyways, it was whenever you said, "Oh, look at that little medal."
Oh no, I know it. Okay, yeah, the Melvin.
Melvin Gatewood.
Yeah, it was Melvin, the Purple Heart.
Purple Heart hanging up right about
he had the
him.
Purple Heart, and I said, "Look at that little."
Tell me about that little award back there.
Talk about saying something and sticking your foot in your mouth, like not meeting, and he held me to it, and I felt stupid.
Yes, Jerry. Yes. I mean, this is definitely one of those.
So I can understand saying things that I shouldn't be saying completely.
Yeah, I think it was like 72 times I said. Did you know that they have a Publix in Florida, and it's a publicly traded grocery store chain? It's owned 80% by its employees. I don't work for them, but I was just saying. But I might have said this.
I did not know.
Yeah, I looked it up because I'm like, oh, where are they out of?
Yeah, Jason, we're all over the place right now.
They're out of Lakeland, Florida.
Store you were telling me about, Andrea?
No, there's another store. It's I don't know really. I don't know if I can say this. I don't really know the name.
Piggly Wiggly.
It's all healthy food stuff, and they look out for you. And
are they the whole enchilada?
I can't say it. I can't. It's a. Well, okay, so the son of my friends, he just calls it straight up the Trump store. So
Oh,
Don't know.
yeah. So everything in it is like pro-Trump and maybe anti other things, but yeah. I don't know how
If
to
you're
say
pro
that.
Trump, you got to be anti something.
Something. There's an anti something else. Okay, I think I've got it. It's a minute long.
Yeah.
Andrea, have you seen
if
the
you see
comments? I just say it.
Basically,
Yeah, okay,
Whole Foods.
yeah.
it could be, I don't know, something really.
I seriously don't think she knows the name. That's what.
I'm with Triple B on this one.
Yeah.
I'm with Triple. I think it's
Oops.
Crumble. I think it's Crumble. Yeah, that is
A health
definitely a
food
health store.
Yeah, and I see Trump stuff all in there.
Dude, they've got a level. They got a layer like that much of
Frosting.
on the cookies like that big.
Yeah,
It's like a thin
and whatever.
Winco.
Gosh.
You know what Winco stands for?
What?
Washington, Idaho,
Nevada.
California, Oregon.
Hey, where's our geography
almost
guy?
said
We need our
Nebraska.
geography guy here.
Could have been a couple of
Nebraska. What's up? Oh no, Brookshires. What's up, Junker? Welcome. We got a good story with Andrew. He called us Andrew. He helped. He called us with a friend that was in some need, and the way that the contagion effect happens, and we got his buddy some help, and it was pretty dope. That was one of the earlier episodes. But yeah, 22 Mohawks and Dave and it's
Yeah,
Good
Triple
time.
B, he did want to say Nebraska because
I
we've said
did.
Nebraska. We had like
Dude.
9 weeks straight of Nebraska shows.
bro 9 weeks.
All right.
Everybody associated
Oh my
with the
gosh.
Contagion Effect show is from
Nebraska somehow.
Somehow.
All right, Andrea's got it.
Okay, Jonathan, I apologize. This will probably be like PTSD for you. Okay.
You got your 66 Patriot playtime. If you're not tuning into the People's Patriot Project and you're missing these guys, you're gonna miss a gigantic part of life. And that's my real honest truth. And I know that collectively, Jen, and like she's already said, she's sharing your stuff out there. We share your stuff out there, and we will continue to do that. And what a blessing! What a blessing! What a fire in my loins!
That was great.
That was
Hey,
awesome.
Whatever comes to your heart, loins, whatever.
Fire.
He had a fire in my loins.
As he
It was
put on.
even better because he like looked to the side and then said it. There's like, can I say that? But he whispered that. Can I
It's
say
out
that?
there, dude.
And I'm like, well, too late now, I guess.
And the great thing is now it is on the Contagion
It's-
Effect show.
And it's on the internet.
And I've
so
learned
it's
how to
forever.
clip things now at the 48-50 mark of the show.
I will just send you the clip. You can just have it. I'm pretty proud of
that's
it.
awesome.
Luke, don't you dare group us
Yeah, I'm
Nebraskans
sorry.
with Idaho.
Them fighting words? Are they fighting words?
Yeah.
I'm starting a company.
Called it athletics.
Yeah, no doubt.
Nebraska's a place to be September.
old-
We know that, Jason.
Bro, we've been that's how
We
we've
know that.
definitely
We
been
know that.
explaining it.
I want to float
Back
down
there.
a river in a cattle trough like I see on those commercials in Nebraska.
Well, everyone was doing the ice.
I know
ice bath, remember?
Derek and all them were doing the whole ice baths and jumping in lakes and rivers and everything.
Yeah, they're doing the ice. Yeah,
I can't wait to watch it with
that
sound.
Taylor Swift. Oh wait, no, wrong concert.
Oh
Sorry,
yeah,
my
he's
bad,
at a
my bad.
concert. That's right.
My bad.
No, Jason, I can just send him this clip too. He'll enjoy it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you got it. You definitely have to listen back for that. That's a great one. Mark, we appreciate you sharing. I mean,
We do.
Andrea, we appreciate you
Yeah,
sharing.
against your will.
Yeah.
Blink twice if you really need help. Okay.
Thank you,
Hey.
Mark. Thank
Hi.
you.
My name's Mark. I have fires in my loins.
No,
So
we gotta change your name now, dude. We gotta change it. You're no longer Pause.
Ah,
Pause was another good discussion. He's gonna put his paws on everybody somewhere, sometime. Jonathan's scared. I don't know if he'll actually come to Nebraska, and if he does, he'll be incognito.
he'll be hiding out from Mark.
Yeah, no pause.
I'm an aggressive cuddler, so it'll be all right.
I think Eric is too. So
Uh-oh.
You
Weird.
guys might get along really well. Emotional errors.
Emotional
Emotional errors. All right, let's talk more about the podcast. So what's the general concept of the podcast? What are you guys talking about?
So the crazy part is I never wanted to develop content. I was just like, I'm like, I don't have enough to talk about with people to create content and be involved like that. But then I started so this is the second week of COVID. We're hearing on the news how everyone is depressed. Everyone's going to die. Everyone is emotionally broken. Will never be the same. And I'm like, what the F is this? I'm like, let's get on. We're teachers. We do Zooms all day long with kids. Let's do a virtual happy hour on a Friday night, and let's invite all the veterans we can to come and share how emotionally broken we are with each other. And we started doing this, and like people were showing up and I'm just like, oh, this is great. And so we were putting it on Facebook and saying, hey, let's join, come see this. And then I started hearing, like, I saw Tony Turner. Tony Turner's from Alabama. He's a musician that was playing Simple Man. And it came out that he was in the Navy. I'm like, hey, Tony, why don't you come on and just sing for us one? And I'm just like, oh, we got it. I wanted to build something like the Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show with a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of knowledge and peace. So the pieces we started focusing on are other boots on the ground organizations from across the country. And I'm like, that's our content. We will just promote other organizations.
Right.
And we stopped promoting us, to be honest with you. We stopped talking about the People's Patriot Project during our show because we do that on Mondays on our debrief. And so we started bringing in, and we let them advertise. We let them fundraise. So we didn't realize we were building this whole nother level of stuff where now every week we have a new musician. Well, what are we doing with all this music? Well, let's build WP3 Radio. So now we have a radio station that plays nothing but veteran and first responder music. We have, the great thing is Jason Steiner and all the other organizations, they all do an annual fundraiser. Well, what do you need to have an annual fundraiser? You have entertainment. Hey, can you give me a band? Hey, we've got 150 in our lineup right now. What do you want? Country, rock, rap? What do you want? We'll book it. And so it's been an amazing ride. And actually, a lot of the stuff that's fallen into our laps is just like just staying true to the mission. We're not even touching our flagship mission right now. Right. We want to get there. We're hoping that one of these events that we are trying to work on right now will just be enough to over the top, and then we can start putting in one of these resorts annually is what the plan is. But
right.
We're in the works for something kind of big, 2024. Back to the podcast. Shannon Book favorites. I will digress. And go back to the podcast. We feature first responders and veterans and their missions. And we do a music segment with a veteran or first responder musician. And we do it every single week, and we have a blast.
Nice. So Derek's got the most amazing artist that he's ever met. You just need to hear him out. He might know him really, really well too. That's funny.
Sprinkle some.
Do I get to know now, or do we?
No,
Derek will let you know for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get Shannon Book, it's off the rails. It's not you, Derek. I swore it was you.
What?
He's got somebody else. I thought it was going to be him.
I did too.
Derek's been working very hard. It's awesome, but he still he said hit me up.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter quality. I mean, we
he said, not me, I promise. I just don't want to pop him up. I don't want to block Andrea with now that we have the screen moved. I don't want to block her face. So
I got it.
I can I'm sitting on a bucket, just so you know.
On a bucket? Oh, they just moved there, right? So is there more furniture?
Yeah. They got an empty bin. There's chairs, but not in this bedroom. So.
And is there Wi-Fi at least?
Yes.
Well,
Wi-Fi, AC, hot tub.
There you go. The essentials. The absolute essentials.
Why do you need a hot tub down in Florida?
Dude, you know how cool
Bro, you know how
95 plus 800% humidity feels when you step out of a hot tub? Feels cool.
Yep, I know. I do. I do.
It all of a sudden
Hey,
feels a lot
I just
cooler.
remember when I went to Florida for work and I stepped out at like 6 a.m. and all of a sudden I was like, oh, I got to go back and take a shower.
Uh-huh.
Eric, did you go check the private? Thank you, Andrea.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's going to turn into that. See, so if you go to
Yeah, but that's what it is.
live360.com/station/WeP3 doohickey radio.
Doohickey.
So I'll actually do this. How about this? Because I know we got some veterans that
Just-
can't.
So what we'll do too is make sure you
Put in
leave
the
that
link,
leave that in the links, and then we'll, for our show notes, we'll make sure we get that all posted. Reminds me of Iraq at 2 a.m. That
Here, there.
The
Now
breath
you
of
can
the
just see
dinosaur.
it. There. Whoa, that is large. That is ginormous.
large and in charge. All right.
Hey, even Shannon Book can see that.
Even Shannon.
I
Shannon-
can talk trash because this is my show, and he was talking trash when he was with Shadow Mark the other day. He was trying.
He did say
how
doohickey.
sensitive. Yeah, the doohickey.
But I digress. That's
Were
one
you
of-
sensitive, Eric, on a show?
No,
Somebody
that's the
else's
thing.
show?
Because he made me cry one time whenever we interviewed him because of his song.
He made
His
me
song.
cry.
And it made me cry, and I got sensitive in my feels. Big bully.
I just call him El Libro.
El Libro.
El Libro.
All right, so write it down, check it out. Go check out the podcast. Go
Check out the radio station.
Dude, go check out People's Patriot Project. Amazing people that are doing awesome things. And Squirrel. There we
And
go.
it
Now we're
is
back
at
to
this
normal.
moment the only exclusively first responder and veteran musicians 24/7.
You have somebody coming up doing it as well too, right? We have another one of our part of our group.
Yep.
He's strictly veterans.
There may
I
be
believe-
some sharing going on.
Oh,
in that.
nice.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Good to hear. Good to
Yeah.
hear. No, that's awesome. I love it all. And that's where, I felt like where we kind of broke out was Scotty. Like I felt like once we interviewed Scotty, and what's crazy is it was like April of last year when we interviewed Scotty, and it was such a blessing to have him on. And then we got Shannon, and then it just kind of grew. And then we got Schaefer.
Yeah, see, Toto's with me. It's
We
okay
had,
to cry.
We had Scotty and Shannon up here for an event for the Ride to Remember up here in Minnesota in August.
Last year, yep.
What an amazing! just having those guys around and it was just awesome.
Well, and I'm sure the shit talking between the two of them.
No.
No, not at all. No.
Not
But
at
I'm
all.
going to tell you a secret about Scotty. If you want to get in his little heart, take him to the aquarium. The kid, he turned into a little kid at Mall of America. He's like,
He's a
oh my
star
God,
chaser
you get it?
driver, huh?
Yeah.
Don't tell secrets, Andrea.
No, he was a
Starfish
kid.
lover.
He was a little. See, we had to waste some time before I got him back to the airport. And he's like, I don't know, let's try Mall of America. I've never been there. And he seriously was like, you can get a tattoo. Oh my gosh. And then all the food, they have food and this and that. And they have an aquarium. Can we go to the aquarium? And I'm like, yes, go to the aquarium. Walk under the sharks. It was
Love
awesome.
it.
Weird.
Like-
We saw the Scotty that was driving like cross country through the middle of nowhere.
It was a rainstorm, remember? It was
Yeah.
like lightning and thunder.
we had a show with like we had Schaefer, Scotty, and Shannon and Taylor from Guitars for Vets,
Operation Encore.
Operation Encore. They're all part of it. And Scotty's over there. He's like, hey guys, I'm gonna be driving. We're like, oh, it's all right. No, literally every time he tried to talk, it dropped off, and he's just you could see the pouring rain behind him. It was pretty cool.
Oh, here you go. Yeah,
What?
Got it? Yeah, I got you.
What you got? OPSEC warning, loose lips.
Uh-oh.
What are you doing?
Oh, I shared secrets.
Yeah,
About
Scotty
Scotty.
Hastings likes horse.
Oh yeah, Scotty
People.
Hastings is amazing, dude. The comments are fun tonight. It's
Yeah.
very fun. All right, So what is next for People's Patriot Project? I know you said right now you kind of stepped away because you guys are doing, but what's, I know you said something about an event. You guys are looking to put something together. Is that going to be in Minnesota?
Would you like to share with us?
Yeah.
We can share some pieces.
No, we want
the reason why we don't share everything is a lot of times our thoughts and dreams are so grandiose that we want to be real about stuff. And so
or Andrea's reeled you back in.
Go big. What's
reality check?
Yeah, what's it gonna hurt? Go big, man.
Well, we are going to go big. I mean, the big is like big. Like we all will be there. If 2004 Veteran Week, 2000. But I said 2004. 2024 Veterans Day week.
Oh,
I mean, I'm going to tell everyone, set that week aside. We are pushing to do one of the largest nationally events that we can, and we've just recently, and I don't know if this is the right place. We'll say we just recently partnered with Chair 55. J. Mark Bailey is a promoter out of Nashville, and we are getting to do some really amazing things with him and his organization. He's not a veteran, has nothing to do, but he loves what we're doing. And he's allowing us to package a deal with him that helps veterans, all of our musicians, and we're all going to be in one spot. Veterans Day week,
2024.
2020. Okay.
Book my vacation.
I like it.
It sounds like I'm gonna have to take 2 weeks.
We are trying very hard. Last year we did an event in Nashville called the WP3 Nashville Takeover, and we brought 27 musicians into Nashville, and we played 6 venues in 5 days, and we blew it up. It was amazing. Everyone that came had a blast. We stayed at Big Vinny's. He's part of Toby Keith's recording group back in the day. In the 90s, he was part of Trailer Choir. He let us stay at his – no, it's not during Hero Stock. He let us stay at his resort. All these veterans came and stayed. We would play our gigs till 1, and then we'd sit and jam until 5 and 6 in the morning and start it all over every day for 5 days. It was nuts. We want to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And our promoter, I won't say he's dragging his feet. He's just so confident. And I'm just like, I wanted to have this information out clear back in May. I want this. And so we're working really hard on our Nashville takeover for the week of October 16th through the 22nd.
Okay.
Again, that backs with the Josie Awards. The Josie Awards is the largest award
Indie
proceedings for I can't think of the right word.
Indie Awards.
Yep, individual recording artists, indie recording artists. And so we've done a lot of work last year. Me and Andrea had the awesome opportunity to host the red carpet for them at the Grand Ole Opry. Yeah, it was dumb. We got to our first interview was with Mr. Golden of the Oak Ridge Boys and his family, the Goldens. And I'm just like, why do we get to be here, man? We just enjoy what we're doing and loving life. So anyway, we have a handful. So we help promote all other organization events. So we've got Hero Stock coming up. We've got, I don't have my list in front of me.
Operation Zero.
We got
be at Hero Stock, and then
Southern Ridge Farms in Minnesota on the weekend of Hero Stock, which we won't be at because we'll be at Hero Stock. We've got like 6 things going on right now as far as events.
Okay.
We still are working and having conversations with the world. We settled on the idea that we're not doing the recognition piece anymore, other than the fact that we were doing recognition, because everyone gets to lay their heads on their big fat heads on the pills of freedom daily, and no one worries about who's coming in your back door. And not one time when you dial 911 is someone screaming who's on the other side of the call. They're there to help you, and we need to make sure we're there to help them. And that's where we're at. We just need to be in the spot where we constantly say we have to be ready, so we don't have to get ready, and we have to be mission ready. And so that's our cliche.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about.
Drop the mic. Oh wait, it won't move now.
It's really weird because I sit on this side of StreamYard, and we've got a whole voice mod thing that lets me do sound effects and stuff.
Oh,
I've been
sorry.
pushing buttons all night long, and it's not letting me do my explosions and my air horn. And
I'll have to, if I give that to Eric, we'll never hear the end of it because man,
I have a blast.
So since I already closed the
See
on it. So I have a question. It has to do with your page, right? There's a video, and I wanted to play it, but for some reason the sound is
extremely
really
quiet.
And I don't want to. I would love to have everyone go check out. I'd love to have everybody go check out the peoplespatriotproject.org and go watch the video that is next to our mission statement, right? And I've watched the video.
Well, you can pull it up and show it, so then
I'll
people
try
see
to
where
play
it's
it.
at.
Well, let me do this.
I know the sound's quiet, and the video is
really
about 4
quiet.
minutes, but you have to take the time.
Yeah,
You have to go see this site and go see this video.
it's
because
really well done. You guys have a good back-to-back people.
Yeah,
that we've
whoever did
had
this
has a great website. It's
It'll
awesome.
go
There's so
to
much information.
it'll go to his head.
Yeah, no, it's great. He's
It's-
Okay, never mind. It sucks. This is
Yeah.
terrible. I don't.
I mean, if Walmart had a website for websites, like this would probably be on the list. You know, I mean, this is definitely not Target or nothing like that.
No, I'm thinking more Circuit City or
Yeah.
Blockbuster.
I saw a Geek Squad van today. I thought they were all out of existence.
Who knows?
Oh.
I think
All
they're
these
like dodo
companies.
birds and stuff. Anyways, not them, but anyways.
You can just hit play.
I'm
I
gonna
mean, I
hit
know
play.
we
We're
won't.
gonna
We
go
won't
with
hear it.
See what happens.
too
Here we
well.
go.
Wow.
Told you.
Yeah.
Oh, it is quiet.
Yeah. We can't get the sound up, so you need to. Is your cursor over that? There you go. But this video is amazing. It's about 4 minutes long.
Go listen to it. Put it on about 9, maybe 8.5, 9 on the volume scale. And it is, there's so much going on because it tells the story, right? And it's the song. I need to know who the singer is. And it's a great story. And I know I'm talking over it because I want you guys to go see it. I want to get like 100 views on their website today.
100,000. No.
And like, I mean, again, I'm like Andrea. I know my limits. So if we get like 100, that'd be awesome. You send them $1 for each view. You know,
See?
They'll have $10.
they will have 10 whole dollars.
Yep, that's the way it goes.
But no, it is a great website.
Mark and Andrea are used to hearing that kind of math.
Yeah, go check out the video because it is crazy awesome.
It is. We were sitting
That was
here
a good
watching it, and it's amazing.
That's
So
Whiskey
well
Myers.
done.
I don't have permission to use that song, but that's Whiskey Myers in the background.
Okay, why don't you get it?
I don't know anything
Email.
about it.
Send an email.
I hear he is very, very Patriot supportive, and will be something that probably we get there. And
Whiskey Meyer.
yep.
Yep, you'll like it. If you like that, you'll like probably all of their music.
Yeah.
Hey, Scotty gave us permission to use his song for our opening, and he doesn't know how to remove the copyright.
we
so
still get copyright
we
on
get
our
copyright
YouTube.
claim every single show.
74 for 74.
Yep.
You know, ours went away for a short time because I kept sending him this little note. Hey, we do have permission. See that fourth person in the corner there? That's their song. They're here. It's their song. We truly have permission. They're right here with us. They're playing. And after a while, it went away. Now I see we are muted in certain countries.
Some countries will get muted.
We haven't been muted yet, but we get the check mark and it's not the bad check mark. It's just like, hey, you're using, and I even asked Scotty, he's like, I have no clue. So it's all good. I'm like, hey, you said it on our show. We have it in email. We have it in everything. So we have proof that you said it.
We we're a little bit spoiled because of the relationships we build with the musicians. Don Kurz has a song called Roll On, and I actually reached out to him and said, hey, can we just get a instrumental version of this? And that's the intro to our show, and we love what Don Kurz does. And,
yeah, I like the way your show is put together too. You guys do a good job.
Well, we need to collab a little bit. I think we could help each other do some things. And I liked your video clip going into it. I wrote down as a note, I'd say we wait till the end, but now we're there. And I'll send you the stuff to Voice Mod. I think it was $25 for a lifetime license, and it has all the noises on the world you want. Lots of farts and burps too. So sometimes we get distracted with that part.
What's a good podcast without a couple farts and burps? So,
well, I don't know.
Artificial intelligence.
We might get in. We don't want to get in
trouble. Never know where those farts eke out. You know that.
Do we have to play it?
Yeah, I mean, you can play it.
Yeah.
So we are actually. We could take a minute and play it real quick because we are on Reese Across America Radio as well. So
Thank you for joining us.
We'll get that.
The Contagion Effects Show can also be heard on Reese Across America Radio on Truckin' Tuesdays at 11 p.m. Eastern. You can find Reese Across America Radio on the iHeart app, the Odyssey app, and the TuneIn app. Search the word Wreath.
Yeah, I love the iHeart
app. Where am I at? Because I can't do two things at once and talk and read at the same time. Kind of goes without saying.
You guys use a machine for that?
Yeah, it's called my brain.
So Mark, are those all those sounds loaded into StreamYard?
So I have 5 screens going here, and I have 190 tabs open on one, and then
oh my god,
that would
drive me crazy. That would drive me crazy.
And then says, I gotta figure out my computer. It's kind of slow right now. I'm like,
yeah, I wonder why.
Close a few tabs. There you go.
But they're all very important tabs.
I'm sure they are.
And
how
so
many are
I
the same site?
I keep one screen designated for voice mod, and then I can preload all the sounds that we want. I've got a blast, air horn, and then we had some special effects made for us specifically. But this also does voiceover stuff. So like you can change your voice and do different things. When you listen to, if you ever listen to our intro, there's several things like my daughter's doing the intro and she does a voice change thing that just makes it a little speedier, little thing. And
awesome.
Mark,
it's a great tool to have.
Don't talk about voice intros. I think Eric's still mad about the fact that we changed our intro to Scotty instead of.
Welcome to the Contagion Effects Show with your host, Mike Ellick and Eric Mello.
He was so, and I think he was legitimately hurt when we changed.
I had my feeling hurt. It was a minute and 47 seconds on an intro because it was welcome to the Contagion Effects. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Hey, we were learning our way, right? We all have to start somewhere.
They're not the easiest things to do, and I have to go into a whole nother platform to create our intros. And I feel terrible because Jonathan has been with us for like a year, and our intro says, "Hey, come join Andrea and Mark Petersen and who? Jonathan." Wah wah wah. Not sorry, Jonathan. We'll get it fixed.
Oh, you should just
and
John
have a different audio that's like a different volume going. And Jonathan.
And Jonathan.
That would actually be pretty funny.
That's awesome.
That would be great.
That would be good. I just always say it as soon as it's done. I always give it the old and Jonathan.
Yeah, see, that's awesome. That's awesome. He's included.
Elf. There you go. There's Jonathan's approval.
Sorry, Jonathan. We'll get it fixed.
Are you though? If you were sorry, it'd be fixed.
It would have been done.
I hadn't had to screen all of Andrea's text today about her critiquing the thing. I could have got it done, but
it was what it was.
Said the guy who has 5 screens and
157,000 tabs open.
Could have got it done.
So we do ask one serious question. We don't, obviously you can see that our show is not anything that's serious.
Well, we try to be serious every once in a while for about 10 seconds.
When you guys are chilling, relaxing, not thinking of We P3,
the guest appearance that's always there.
Yeah. When you're relaxing and it's downtime and you're having a beverage, what's your go-to? Andrew, what's your go-to?
Oh, see, now it's Jonathan's fault. Real quick, see, he took the blame there. Look at accountability.
Yeah.
He took it right off you, Mark.
There you go. Jonathan, this isn't favoritism, but I'm an old-fashioned drinker, bourbon old-fashioned.
There you go.
Mhm.
How about Mark?
So real quick before you say it, I kept seeing the koozie, right? And I'm like, okay, that's a white can, but I can't tell what it is.
White Claw. It's White Claw.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is
so,
not
I mean,
a White Claw.
It's tough.
Truly.
I mean, that's a different conversation, but so, I mean, you already kind of MF'd me.
Yeah. Oh, it keeps going.
There it is.
Okay.
There it
MF'd
is.
me a little bit about what some of I may do.
So you dig in the trash for bottles? Is that what you?
Yeah. I collect
Collection.
bottles for fun.
Wow. Dude.
I'm a food snob, drink snob. That's straight across the board. If you're going to experience life, experience at its best. So I always want to get flavors. I always want to do. So I'm kind of a stout Scotch ale kind of guy. This is my cheap garage flavor here, and
What is
I've
it?
made some aggressive changes. I used to drink a silver can not too long ago. Now it's a white can, just because it's a Miller Lite. This
Just
is
because you should. Just because
so
you
basic.
should.
Snobber.
Basic.
Yeah, no, this is the very basic. Now, I can't keep it in my house for some reason because I have a 20-year veteran sleeping about 10 feet away from here.
You have a 23-year-old veteran, 22-year-old
Turned
veteran.
23.
There
Turned
you go.
23 in August.
Yeah.
23, yeah. And
Not
then
a
the other-
20-year veteran. You're just
Well, you're right. 23-year-old. Gosh, Andrea. This is what I got to put up.
23-year veteran of life.
Hey, she's an English teacher.
See?
Netflix out there, Mark. What, did you
This is
hear that?
why-
Did you record that too?
Do you know what you just said?
Hey, can you guys
Bro,
chill
check
out?
this
I
out.
gotta edit all
I don't
this
even
later.
know what's going on here.
You're using the mouse.
I know
Like-
this. Send it to Peterson. He owes us, all of us. Edit this.
I'm a huge spotted cow drinker, and you can only get it in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
So you
Yeah.
didn't like the silver bullet, or
Mm.
he was drinking Bud Light, but
It's Bulai. Hey, Bulai.
I was a Mick Golden drinker.
Gosh.
I like the old
I'm
school
all-
bottle, though.
I'm all out here in my own world with my wine.
Yeah, and we didn't have another day either, by the way. Not that I'm
We
complaining,
didn't.
but we didn't have any today.
I don't mind a nice red wine, something
Well, that's-
dark.
That's when you said because I'm a little bit the same. I'm a food and wine snob, so I'm
I
very
like
much.
the Apothic. The Apothic has some amazing lines in dark red wines, and I like those. And
Look at my face, like, that's still basic. That's so basic.
I didn't
Yeah,
do.
I did.
I did not do that.
But it was like that. Looked like kind of like how you said. Ew.
Well, when you live
like
in
a stout.
California and you have
Well,
all
yeah,
these
of
wineries,
course.
like we're very spoiled here. So
What?
absolutely,
in that way, in all other ways in California, they can
No.
shove it.
What's
Well,
that? What's your California? What's your brand then? What do you like? What's
As
your
far
best?
as wine,
Yeah.
Mondovi.
Oh, please. He's so
Be
last
unique.
year.
No, we're not
So-
into Robert. Thank you.
Bob is old school. Okay.
We're more into Justin. No, there's a lot.
There's a crap.
Justin. We have the
Justin.
mountains right down the road, and there's some amazing wineries in the mountains here that are absolutely just great. And what's nice is they're not snobby because they're small little wineries that make great wines, and most of them are $30 wines. So you go to Napa and your minimum wine is like $70, and then it tastes like crap because they don't feed you, they don't do anything, and their wine's gonna punch you in the face when you drink it.
Yeah.
So real quick, Mark, I am a stout drinker. Like I do like stouts, but I tend to shy away from the barrel aged and that bourbon barrel.
Sure.
I'm going to do my best to bring one of my
There you go.
favorites.
Some
When I
MD
do,
2020.
yeah, Mad Dog is good. Hey, Mad Dog gets it down. But hey,
Boone's Farm. I mean, that was
There you go.
OG. That's
I've been down Harney Lane. I've been to Harney Lane Winery too. So
he's got to go pick up.
I know. I forget Tonto's got his Lodi connection.
Yeah, I always forget that's so random. He's out there in the middle of
Alaska and then he's connected.
You know, it's
to
like
Lodi.
7 flights to get to him. You know, it takes literally 7 flights to get to
Strawberry Hill.
I'm just like, I can't.
7 flights to
It's
get
like
to
7 flights. You can't fly right into Homer, Alaska either. It's like a puddle jumper, and then you got a canoe, and then the Indian, the natives have to bring you across.
Dude, you guys, there's going to be so much alcohol for you guys at Hero Stock. Everybody's going to be bringing everything. So
love it.
So
I think I'm going to fly.
Make sure your livers are well rested before you go into Nebraska, because you'll be coming out with your liver in a wheelchair.
I think I'm going to drive. I'm going to rent a van.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh, you know what?
1,607 miles.
They do know how to do it down there in Nebraska. That was the only. I went to a private college in Sioux Falls, and so small town, right? And maybe I'm dating myself, but for fun, about 10 miles away was a little dance hall, and we would take the back road with maybe some beverages we shouldn't have had in the car and drink a whole bunch of them by the time we got to the dance. And
did Mom and Pa Ingalls allow you to have that in there?
Mark was like winding up.
No, they're bad. So thank you for that.
Was it Gina Lee there?
But I went to college, you guys. Nobody drank. We went out for birthdays to the spaghetti factory. And I'm like, what are we doing? And the age was 19. So we fell into this. And then Joan from Nebraska was like, hey.
Joan,
yeah. Does anybody road trip? Do you guys want to go on a road trip? And I'm like, thank God, someone who knows. Actually, my first road trip, that was just getting from one place to another. And I was like, well, are we drinking on the way or and then when Joan said road trip and we got 40s at the gas station and we drove around the interstate loop, that was my favorite day at that school.
There you go.
This is not a teacher talking to us right now.
This is
not one of our fine educators molding young minds.
That was back when I was going to be a lawyer, so it's okay.
Oh,
man, we got a firefighter and a lawyer.
Yeah.
It sounds like the beginning of bad decisions.
Yeah.
Dueling bandos.
Oh, man.
All right. We're all Minnesotan now.
Minnesotan.
It rubs off on you.
Well, you hear it, Mark, sometimes, so you can start to hear. I can hear it in Andrea's voice, and then I can hear it in yours once in a while. So it's.
So do Californians have an accent?
Yeah. Do we have an accent? Like, oh my God.
Oh, this is hella cool though.
This
is hella cool.
Hella
cool.
Yeah, right.
I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna go surf.
I'm just an easy
go hang tag. So cool, man.
It's like Saturday Night Live.
Go get some real tacos. No, that's the thing. They draw out remember there was that stupid clip on TikTok where I wanted the venti coffee. Yeah, I want a large coffee. A venti. Anyway, sorry guys.
Nope.
That's actually how Eric really talks when he's ordering his coffee. Eric, snap out of it. Eric, snap out of it.
Caramel macchiato hot. Extra
that
shot.
tells me you go to the place to get coffee when they give you a shot of hate.
Nowadays, that's true.
Hella.
Worst word ever. You say
closer than we are. Jeremy, you're getting big words, Jeremy. Big
I was
words.
like SAT and stuff.
It's all good. We, veterans aren't all spellers.
We're listeners.
Or listeners.
Just throwing it out there with our group of
dudes. What's funny is when you get the comments that are typed in and then somebody misspells something.
You're so dumb.
Cow
I have to say, the other day, me and Andrea, we have some early morning meetings, and she was telling me a story, and she was struggling to get the words out. And I'm like, this is the worst story ever. And she goes, You're the worst effing listener ever. Fair enough.
Rubber your glue.
No, all right. Just try making my story up. That was my story, not your story. Shut up and listen.
Jeremy,
Yep,
my kids
first
would
word
agree.
ever.
There we are.
Moist is one of
There
the
we
worst.
are.
Mhm.
It was moist in Florida last week. I'll tell you that.
It still is.
It still is. Look at Andrea. It still is.
Hey, the stupid California puts his shirt outside to dry. It's not drying, dude. Like, it ain't drying. It's not. Like 4 hours out there and it's still the same density and the same wetness it was when you set it out there.
your shirt has sweat from your sweat.
Dude, it actually gained weight. Like the shirt gained weight. Like, are you serious? Like, but I will say for the record, on our cruise that we did go on, I didn't gain 1 pound.
Ooh.
I didn't lose a pound, but I didn't gain any. So that was a win for me. I mean,
Find the positive. Find the positive. All right. Well, speaking of events, I mean, that's one of our things is we really, because we have a venue out here that's actually right around the corner.
Awesome.
And we've talked to everybody. We want to put on one as well, like a concert. So we're looking forward to possibly being able to do that in the future. We'll be and then for your podcast, I would love to work with you, Mark, and see how we could work together, because that would be a lot of fun, learning all the things you're doing.
It was going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's because I believe popped on the screen.
I know.
So
Well,
like,
that's it. So we are gonna have a little bit of a different show today. That's why we are gonna cut short in a few minutes because my uncle will be joining us, who's a Vietnam vet from in the Navy, and we're excited to have him on and just join in with us. So that's why it kind of threw me off, because I was like, oh, it's already time. Time came up. And then I was looking at Mark and just thinking, he's looking at that screen, and how do you look at all those tabs? Like, I freak out if I have like more than 10 open.
They're organized.
why are you lying?
When there's that many,
many,
they're little boxes, so you can't even really see unless all of them have the favicon on them to where you can see the image of the site you're on.
Most of them do. And I have them kind of grouped into like, I need to finish this. I need to finish this. I need to finish this.
Oh, 100% scroll.
Yeah, we're all over the place.
Yes.
It's all good. Today we were on the side of having a lot of fun. So we appreciate Mark and Andrea helping bring that, and bring that energy and share the People's Patriot Project and the We Got Your Six podcast, right?
Yeah.
Got your 6 at 6. Yep. We
got your 6 at 6. Thank you for all the things you guys are doing for veterans and the first responder community. As Andrea, you're definitely like us, where we're not all veterans, but we love the community. We love to support the community. We appreciate being welcomed into the community. So thank you all. What's up, Eric?
I didn't want to post it.
Oh,
yes.
I missed it.
He was.
He looks lost in the sauce. Oh, Tonto. Wow.
That's Alaska for you, okay?
Yeah, that's
Alaska time zone. He doesn't know when to join or not. Yes, Nan, it was awesome. Just wait, because we're gonna have Uncle Lee on also.
Yes.
Mike's uncle.
So anyways, oh man, thank you so much. Sorry we had to wait so long. That's the nice thing with being live is we get to schedule out, and unfortunately we get excited about waiting. You're like, oh, who do we got next? Oh man, we feel like we scheduled them 6 months ago.
Yeah. No, it is. And every show is like, oh my gosh, that one was so good. So was the last one. So was the last one.
It's all exciting. There's always something we learn from it.
That's exactly how we feel. And you wonder why you can't schedule me. Well, and on top of that, Eric did get him on the show once when I had to miss, and he couldn't even get on video. So we love Tonto. He's great to have in the comments all the time. Yeah, we're squirreling away all the time.
Woo.
Anyways, thank you guys. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and we wish you the best of luck. And
we'll be in touch.
Mark, looking forward to seeing if we can collaborate on anything.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank
Andrea,
you very
thank you
much.
so much
Thank you.
too. All right,
Thanks
guys,
for
have a good night.
Patriot Pride.
Bye.
There you go.
Patriot Pride.
Dude,
Woo.
did it again.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So I want to, hopefully audio's working. So we'll find out. We'll just find out live here. I wanted to take a special little turn on our show tonight because visited my uncle last week, and he's been now, I think, catching up on some of our shows. Over to fix my stuff and not the Geek
Stay
Squad.
focused, Michael.
Yeah, I know, I'm just
Stay
laughing.
focused. I get it. No, we'll
Anyways, my uncle's my dad's older brother. My dad passed away in 2015. My uncle's dealing with some health issues now. He is a Navy veteran that was also in Vietnam.
Awesome.
And so I'd like to welcome to the show for a little short stint, Lee Ellick. All right. Are you ready? Can you hear us?
I'm ready. I can hear you guys fine. Can you hear me?
Oh, man.
No, we can't hear you.
That
No,
is
we
the
got you.
best audio we've ever had.
And it's from a Surface. Are you on the Surface?
Thank you. I've been watching some of your shows, Eric and Mike, and you do a lot for the community. And one of the shows was particularly meaningful where, the vets, take care of the vets. And getting the information to the vets was very important. Like I was in the Navy 7 years and I never knew I had VA coverage. Because you go to work and your companies always take care of your health care. So you never think about the VA.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you guys advise vets, check it out. Even if you serve, like I was in almost 7 years, check it out. You don't have to wait. You don't have to be a 20-year retired vet to get benefits.
Yeah.
So getting that information out to the vets, you guys do a good job on that.
Well, Eric, every show, Eric would actually show his handbook. He's probably got it somewhere there, right? The California, resource book.
Yeah,
right?
It's amazing the stuff that's in here. I mean, every single page has something that's just benefit that can benefit some. I mean, literally the last page is like the Registry of California Veterans Memorial. It's just there's so much in here, and I wish more and more people would reach out and get that information out there, right? I mean, that's that's kind of why we do this.
And I'm impressed. You guys do that. So I saw that in his show. So very good. Because
it was Eric. I have to share with you. It was pretty cool. We Jamie and I and Aiden went over there to visit my uncle and saw my cousins, and then my first thing the minute we walk in, hey, I want you to go put your show on the TV for me. So I had to go subscribe to it, and then we were sitting there talking, our show is playing in the background, which is a little weird.
I was just gonna say, how is that? Like,
it's definitely a little weird, but it was fun. So, well, Uncle Lee, I am glad you joined.
I think I saw a black screen a little bit.
There may be some of that. Anyways,
thank you.
So a little bit, so everybody can learn about you, right? Where did you grow up? Can you hear us?
Oh, good. This is a good lady. I was taking notes for the show.
Oh,
yeah. My parents had 10 kids. Yeah.
Wow.
My mom was stay at home and my dad was a worker, a welder. So in my family, we never talked college. You either get a job or you go in the military. So the 5 eldest Ellick sons all went into the military. So I was in there. Ken's 2 years younger, so he was in there. We had 2 in the Air Force.
Ken was my dad.
Yeah. 2 in the Marines, and I was the only sailor. So
who was in the Air Force? Henry?
Yeah, Henry, and then my brother Ronald.
Okay, Ronald. Okay.
Yeah. What happened is I was pro-veteran all the way. I was a junior in high school, and I tried to enlist in the Air Force. In 1963, they rejected me because I had bad eyes. Yeah, it's crazy. So meanwhile, the Vietnam War is building up, right? So in 1965, I finally got a good job, Douglas Aircraft. I was driving equipment to the production lines, good union wages, good union job. Then I got a letter from the U.S. government. You are hereby ordered to report for induction on December 21st, 1965.
Oh, now you're good enough.
Now you're good enough. Yeah,
somehow my eyes got better.
Yeah.
Well, it's because you could read the letter. You should have acted like you couldn't read the letter.
I don't know what it says.
So that started my military career.
Oh, wow.
But there was a
And-
program they had. I didn't want to go in 4 days before Christmas, so
Yeah.
you could delay your entry up to 4 months
Oh.
by joining the other service. That's how I wound up in the Navy. I said, okay, I'll join the Navy. And
Yeah.
so I didn't go in until January. And that's how I wound up in the military. And little did I know, Uncle Ken, or my brother Ken, he was in Marine boot camp across the bay, and I was in Navy boot camp. but,
Oh wow.
but our paths never crossed, and we learned about it later. The
Wow.
So anyways,
and my dad joined early, right? Didn't he join?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
somehow snuck in at 17.
yeah, it's funny, our paths crossed a few times when we were in the service, and the it wound up I got sent out to a ship in Long Beach, California, and 2 weeks later we went to Westpac, which is Vietnam service, but we were home ported in Yokosuka, Japan. And so I did my stint. I was lucky. The things you learn in high school by mistake, like I took electronics in high school, that dictated my future career.
Wow.
Also, I had ROTC in high school, and because I knew how to march, the Navy entered me as an E2 instead of an E1.
Oh,
So
so
you got an automatic pay raise.
there you go.
Automatic pay raise. And then guess who was appointed whenever they needed somebody to march the fellow students to class to? They picked on me. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So one thing you learn in the military, my dad always said, keep your mouth shut. Don't volunteer for anything.
I think we've heard
was
that
in the show.
before.
I was just going to say,
Yeah,
wasn't
I
that?
think we've heard that. Somebody else on the show said that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
picked for
let the other
everything.
guy volunteer.
Yeah. What ship were you on?
Oh, good question, Eric. USS De Haven, DD 727, and it's funny. The guy on watch was ET1 Theodore Geisinger, and he looked at my grades and he said, "I want you." So I wound up in the ET squad, which is electronic technician.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd been a bosun's mate, swapping the deck and painting the side of the ship.
Yeah.
So it was a big break for me. 9 months later, he recommended me for electronics A school at Treasure Island, San Diego.
Oh, wow.
And that's where I ran into Ken. And we went on Liberty together, both in our dress uniforms in San Francisco. So that's how I got my opportunity. The only negative story in the ship was I made coffee with salt water instead of fresh water.
No.
I heard about that for 9 months.
Yeah, that probably
You're
didn't
the
taste
boot.
real good.
You're the boot. You're the recruit. you do all those things, right? What? Well, I'm sorry.
You messed up one time, right? You
One
put some
time.
little, you put a little salt water in the coffee. Come on. You know?
Should have told him it was a prank.
Yeah.
I got you guys.
You got me. But I must have did okay because he recommended me for that Class A school in San Francisco, and that was a year of training in electronics.
Oh, wow.
And of course, you don't go back to the same ship.
Yeah.
Sorry about my cough.
No, that's
We know.
They sent me to a C school, which is more advanced, and I was attached to the USS Rupertus, DD 851, and I
like that.
I know. He remembers it all.
yeah,
Awesome.
and the equipment I worked on was QH-50D dash drone, and it was a remote controlled drone. It could carry 2 torpedoes 40 miles away from the ship, and then drop the torpedoes, homing torpedoes, and sink the sub.
And this is in the late 60s?
Yeah, I'd say late 60s.
Dude, we had
That's
drones in the
1968.
late
That's
60s.
crazy.
That is cool.
That's yeah.
So the drones, and then they weren't happy with that, right? So what they did is they incorporated a project called Snoopy. And what they
Oh.
did is we took the torpedoes off and we put cameras on there. So the captain would
Really?
fly it over to Viet Cong and use it for gunfire spotting.
Oh, so
it
that's how they learned to put cameras on drones.
Yeah, early days.
Dude,
And then
in the 60s.
so that's what I did for a while. And we had one shot down. We don't know who shot it down. And then we had another one. We brought it back and it had a bullet hole in the oil sump. So we're not quite sure who did that
Who
one.
shot at it. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But there's a million sea stories. I like your vets, talking to vets, if you had a vet highlight of the day or spotlight, they all have stories, and they could go on and have stories like forever. Like Ken was in, my brother Ken, I think he did some service in Da Nang, and we anchored in Da Nang one night. It's a destroyer, so I'm walking from the showers. It's pitch black, you know, you don't want the enemy to see you. And we used to throw concussion grenades over the side in case there's Viet Cong sappers coming to your ship.
Right.
But they didn't tell me ahead of time. So when that thing went off, I hit the deck so fast. I was just glad it was black and dark and nobody saw me.
That was awesome.
So how did you find out about it? Did you have to go ask somebody?
After the fact, the next day, did you guys hear anything unusual last night?
And they're like, no.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
What are you talking? Alex, that crazy old.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Da Nang, but it wasn't all war all the time. One thing about the Navy's a little bit better than vets in country. We did R&R. So like went to Bangkok and Hong Kong and
did some sightseeing.
Yeah, inside the bar, outside the bar. And I remember 1969. That was the moon landing. The Navy had ships spread across the globe, so no matter where that thing would land, if it didn't land in its appointed position, there would be some destroyer there to pick them up.
Yeah.
So we did that. It was a little refreshing. But I enjoyed my time. The Navy probably kept me. Focused.
Sorry.
They gave me opportunity. So I nothing but respect and pride for all the vets that served.
Yeah.
Now,
my mom's saying hi, by the way, on the
hi,
screen.
Kathy. Hi.
Technology is so cool.
Yeah, so it's a. And meanwhile, my brother Ken, he was in country Vietnam, and I remember he told me a story. He was a supply sergeant, but also he was on one of the Chinook helicopters, and they hit a mine when they came in, and they had some shrapnel damage or whatever. Other Vietnam, when you're on the Navy, mail calls infrequent, so you might get mail every 2 months. So you look for it with pride.
Yeah.
So especially when you're refueling and you're bringing over the oil and the munitions, we want that mailbag to come in also.
Yeah,
because
for
the
sure.
thing the vets like the most is talking to their family.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Now, who were you? Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that's
Oh,
that,
go ahead, guys.
the difference of generations, right? I mean, you guys were, I don't want to say it this way, but it's going to come out this way. You guys were like true American heroes that we didn't have the technology we have now, right? And
Why do I love Eric?
Yeah, well,
he's got a little brown stuff on his nose right now.
It was just a different era, right? We didn't have all this.
Well, you didn't have all the
stuff. You
extra
guys weren't giving
technology.
stuff. Yeah, but you guys worked for stuff. I mean, even just kids, like you, when you were growing up, like you guys had to work for things. You weren't just given these.
Oh, and they didn't have an easy life. I mean, there were 10 of them, and they
10.
didn't have an easy life.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love the story. I have a Grandpa Lee. He passed away. I didn't get to hear stories, right? With my dad, and my dad was on the USS Cleveland, LPD, right? LPD 7, and he was in Vietnam and had some health issues, and so it's like these stories are this is going to be amazing, right? Like this is what we love about what we do. We get to share stories.
I had no seatbelt. Yeah, in those days there no seatbelt.
No seatbelt. You can sit in the back.
Smoked in cars.
Yeah,
you could smoke everywhere then.
No, but I appreciate you coming on and sharing. When Mike told me, hey, listen, like this is what we're going to do, I'm like, dude, cancel it. Like, let's just do a whole 2 hours of.
But damn
Uncle
great
Lee,
heroes for sure.
So,
by the way, you learn in the Navy, don't smoke into the wind because the hot action right back.
Come right back at you.
Go to the fantail. Go back there so you don't get ashes in your eye.
Dude, I can imagine the stories.
Well, that's like him just telling the story with my dad. Like my dad didn't share anything from Vietnam. So he, we found out a lot through reading his stuff, which we've read, a couple of things on air that he had, like one of the poems,
Yeah.
the Marine Corps poem that we had a young Marine on, and so we read it to him because I was like, "Have you heard this?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Yeah,
Well, you're gonna have to repeat that poem in another show.
yeah,
Yeah,
Vietnam,
we will.
that Vietnam era poem is a lot different than what these guys are. They probably have to be a little more politically correct than that Vietnam era poem.
Yeah, there was I was a patriot then. I'm a patriot now. I support the vets. I'm not necessarily crazy about the politicians at the top, but
Agree.
I remember I actually re-enlisted in the combat zone. So, and they've got the GPS coordinates on your DD 214. So it re-enlisted in the combat zone, and what that meant was it was a tax-free re-enlistment bonus. So if you're in a combat zone, hey, it was nice, easy money. It was, and I remember that inflation, right? Combat pay was $60 a month. So for every month or partial of a month that you work, you got a bump of $60. Today, $60 would barely buy you a meal out there, right?
Tank.
Yeah,
it won't fill the tank.
Yeah, it won't fill the tank. So it was funny at that time. I was maintaining those drones, and then the Navy offered me shore duty. And every sailor in their right mind, they want shore duty because you go out for 60 days at a time. It can burn you out. You kind of like to have shore duty, but I just re-enlisted and I turned it down. I said, no, thank you. I was single and I was having a ball.
I was just going to ask, what was the reason you turned it down?
He was having too much fun.
There was Hong Kong, there was Bangkok.
So everybody, going to Bangkok.
Oriental City.
Yeah. So, anyways, they came back and they said, okay, never mind. You don't have to extend, but we'll give you shore duty anyway.
Oh, wow.
So they gave me shore duty in San Diego.
Oh, rough.
And I know it's terrible. I got my apartment off base, 4261 and a half Central Avenue. It's funny, I still remember the address.
Wow,
I should go home for lunch. But what happened was in the Navy, if you have opportunity to learn anything, take it. So they sent me to instructor school. So I was having fun. Little do I know, I finished 4th out of 40. And I wasn't striving for that. I was just having too much fun telling jokes like with you guys, right? So I was an instructor. And then I went to another Class C school. It was identification, friend or foe. When airplanes come in, they have to identify, squawk themselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I taught. I taught that equipment. And I wound up being promoted E1 to, I was the E6 when I got out.
Wow.
Electronic technician, first class. So so almost 7 years. They let me out a month early. And then that's how I wound up in Northern California, because I got a job as a production line tech at Memorex. So if it weren't for the Navy, I wouldn't be where I am today. I would think it was ROTC. It was electronics in high school. And that was a dog barking. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sammy.
Eric says hello.
Got that guard dog. I like it.
Oh, there you go.
Your family didn't even say hello, but Eric did.
Yeah.
Mike didn't say hello, but Eric
Mike
did.
Yeah, he did. He's more interested in the food. I could tell you a million stories, but I don't know what your time limits and restrictions.
Well, it's your show, and I didn't want to. I know talking can get you a little.
I just happen to have some notes.
We just see a blank screen, but that's funny.
Great.
Yeah.
The one I love a guy who's prepared.
Yeah, apply for the VA now. I never bothered because employers covered insurance. I never knew I could have been covered during periods without employment. So it was late in life, and I said, "Well, let's use the government and use the GI Bill. Any chance you can get education, take it." So
did I forget? Was it my dad that? Because we ended up pushing him to get his benefits. Was he first or you first?
I don't recall Ken.
Because it was shortly before, I think, when we were I know we were in Oakdale and we started kind of pushing because we started reading about it and pushing him. But I forget if you had found it yet or.
I don't know, but I'm a forever student from my philosophy.
I know you are.
That's what
I know
keeps you
you are.
sharp, though. That's what keeps you sharp.
Well, plus Eric, they pay you, right?
Well,
They pay you to go to school. I'm there.
Hey.
Sign me up. Yeah.
Hey, enroll. Why not?
Enroll.
You enroll. Underwater
So
basket weaving.
Yes. Yeah.
He was in the Navy. He didn't want to do
Wait a
that.
minute. I did stained glass artwork, not basket weaving. Yeah.
At least not underwater.
Yeah. So it was. I went through the GI Bill. I used it. And then I discovered the VA late in life. I don't know if it was Ken that got me involved in signing up for the VA. But what I try to do, any vet I run into, encourage them. Like my brother-in-law, Charlie. I encouraged him to sign up for disability because he had, Agent Orange prostate cancer.
Yeah.
But this was in the DMZ in Korea because they sprayed there as well.
They sprayed everywhere. Yeah,
So-
especially there.
So I've been helping him. My older brother's a vet, Air Force. I encouraged him to sign up. If you don't make much money when you're old and retired, the VA will chip in a small pension. So I encouraged him to do that, but he was afraid he can't. Oh, they're going to tax me on it. Oh, you make so little, the hell with it. Go get it.
Yeah.
So he was able to he gets a small VA pension because his Social Security is so low. But that's where help out any other vet, any other way you can.
Yeah, for
So,
sure. That's the whole thing is trying to just get the information out there.
Yes.
And we've actually had a few we have a few of our guests that actually work for the VA and trying to do positive things with the VA. And so we know there's some good people and some not so helpful people. So
Well, I like that lady you had on a couple of weeks ago. She was helping the female vets as well. What was
Oh,
her
yeah.
name? I forgot her
Yep.
name, but
it was Amanda Huffman.
yeah, interviewing an admiral or general on her kitchen table or whatever.
that's awesome,
Yeah,
right?
that was-
I mean, geez.
Like the first
Yeah.
female, it was the
Yeah.
first female general, and telling
Yeah.
the stories of what she did at her kitchen table. She just called her and said, "Hey, I'm free. Can I come over to your house?"
Yeah, come over.
Oh, sure. Okay.
That's wonderful because people helping people, vets helping vets, and
Yeah.
sons of vets helping vets.
So
um,
during your time on the ship, what was your favorite port?
favorite port was Yokosuka, Japan.
Yeah.
And if you hear all the people on TV, they always mispronounce it. It's Yokosuka, Japan. They go Yokosuka. No, you were never there. It's Yokosuka, Japan. You get mad yelling at the TV. But also we were in Taiwan, and I know Kaohsiung, they're addicts about ping pong. So
Mhm.
one lady got mad at me because I chose to play ping pong all night and not visit. Yeah. I mean, they're rabid. They're really good ping pong players.
A good ping pong game,
Yeah, good ping
that
pong
can
game.
suffice a man for a couple of days.
Yes, but Yokosuka was in my home port. I was stationed there a long time, but we visited also Bangkok. I remember very unusual. We wanted to get out of town because that's where all the sailors are, right? So we got to Sampan and we went up 40, 50 miles up this river, and we climbed a mountain path, and we reached the Buddhist monastery. And halfway up there's a Coca-Cola machine where you have to pay money to buy a Coke. So what is odd? You're in the middle of Bangkok, halfway up a mountain on the way to a monastery, and there's a Coke machine. I thought that was unusual.
Did you have money to spend on it?
Oh yeah, we did. Because
All right.
sailors, 60 days at sea, they're rolling in the dough when they come into port.
And it's all
Yeah.
burning holes in your
You
pocket.
gotta
Yeah,
spend
burning
it,
holes
right?
in your pocket. Yeah. And it's not true what they say about drunken sailors. No, I've never seen one.
Never seen a
Say,
sober
liar, liar, pants on fire.
And you don't have any tattoos, do you?
No, I went through. I like your tattoos. I always consider that personal choice.
Oh, I know.
And your son, they're honoring Ken Alec. I can't fault any of that whatsoever.
Yeah.
At my point, I got too many wrinkles. You wouldn't be able to You wouldn't be able to recognize.
Well, I was referencing the whole crossing the equator, and everybody said that was kind of the rite of passage is getting the tattoo after you cross the equator.
But that's funny, Mike, because I never got to cross the equator because for some reason we never had that ceremony. And I don't know if it's Vietnam's above the equator or below the equator, but I escaped that. And I think I'm kind of glad. Yeah.
That you didn't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Well, and everybody was probably more worried about Vietnam than they were about crossing the
equator.
equator or not.
Yeah, it
So
was one thing about veterans, you have close bonding. So your crewmates, you could give a crap about what's happening at politic level, but these are guys you live with every day, you steam with every day, you go in Liberty every day, and they're like your brothers. That you didn't have.
That's your family. You guys went through hell and back, you know.
Well, yeah. I do have my combat action ribbon, but it's minuscule because they only shot at us for about a week or so. But that's
only a week. Wonder why his picture froze.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's enough to show that you entry in a combat zone.
Now, do you still have all your ribbons?
Yeah, I do. I thought about bringing them out, but got 7 or 8. But the combat action, Vietnam service, and of course, everybody gets national defense,
right?
Unit citations. I'm proud of those. I still have them.
I heard National Lady Pants. Apologize.
National Lady Pants.
National Lady Pants. That's not what he said. I know it's not what he said.
Who said National Lady Pants?
No, that's what he.
That's what I thought.
That's what he thought he. That's what he thought he heard.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, National Defense.
National Defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Combat action. That would be an interesting one. I suppose.
I'm sure when he was in
some
Thailand,
circles,
they may have done that one.
You could probably get something like that in some circles. Yeah.
Well, that's Gary Miller's like money burns holes in their pockets, you know.
Yeah.
Then something else burns when they're reborn.
Yeah. Oh, how we got the combat action ribbon is usually 2 destroyers would be buddies, and one would go inshore and try to sink the sampans, bringing arms from North Vietnam, and the other destroyer would be providing gunfire support to try to suppress like the North Vietnamese guns that are shooting at the destroyer that's trying to sink the sampans.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when we're retreating, when they started opening fire on us, you can see shell splashes on both sides of the ship as we're retreating or going back to safety. We did that for about a week or so. But when the cruiser showed up to support us, the North Vietnamese were smart. They stopped shooting. Because cruisers gun range is far higher than the destroyer. Like we had 5-inch guns. Yeah. So then after then it was peace and quiet. Only thing I remember at that time was, even though you're an electronic technician, you're a sailor first. So because we're not flying the drone when they're shooting at us, right?
No.
So they had me down in the Mount 53 or 52 magazine, and all those projectiles come from four floors below, and they're moved up by hand, step ladder to step ladder to step ladder to the guys in the gun mount. So I was doing that for a while. It's one way to lose weight. So, and
not like you were a big guy.
A big guy. And to be honest with you, when you're on the destroyer, you know, we had white phosphorus, high explosive, your starlight shells for illumination. When push comes to shove and you're firing at the enemy, they didn't bother to sort. They just shot whatever was there. You don't have time to, hey, this is the wrong one. Give it back to the guy. You move it up and you shoot it. Yeah, and shoot it out. So that's what we did. The then our paths crossed again. I got out. I was a production line tech at Memorex, and then got promoted to supervisor manager, and then met Ken at Shugart. So Ken and I were managers at Shugart Associates. I was production manager. He was inventory.
Oh. Uh-oh.
So we worked together. The only bad thing about manufacturing in America. They moved everything overseas. So
yes, I remember him, my dad losing his job at Shugart. I remember that vividly.
Oh yeah. And then our paths
And then he went
crossed
to
again.
Mac Store.
Yes. Oh yeah. I worked for Mac Store too. But then eventually all the manufacturing left and went overseas. So what do you do then? Well, you do whatever you can. I remember, what is it? Oh, I did a miserable job opening up a restaurant. I lost my shirt, but Ken was my manager days, and Charlie, my brother-in-law, was a manager at night. So it's vets helping fellow vets. So
And it was Mongolian barbecue.
Well, I was gonna say, what was it called?
It was
What
Mongolian.
yeah,
Oh,
Colonel
really?
Lee's Mongolian barbecue.
Colonel Lee's Mongolia. I totally remember. I remember
love
being
the
able to
food.
help cut. Oh, the food was awesome.
Yeah.
I remember cutting vegetables, like being little and getting to help cut vegetables.
Oh yeah, I love the food. Like today, I still love Mongolian beef.
Oh, that's me too. Because of that, I'll never forget, because there's a place called Genghis Khan Mongolian barbecue here, and love going there.
I love it. And tell Jamie it's only my second favorite food. Her lasagna is my favorite.
Yeah, she's got a lot of food. A lot of people like her.
You have the lasagna.
What a suck up.
My dad does the spaghetti, so I get it. Well, Uncle Lee, I don't want to keep you talking all night so you get stuck coughing, but I wanted to definitely have you on. Unfortunately, your video froze, but we don't have a way to really fix that, so we just deal with it.
I'm looking down. That's all right. I went through. I got most of my notes, but
Okay.
thank you. I enjoyed this. I look forward to this for today.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna have you on again.
Thank you. Keep helping fellow vets.
Oh,
There's
we
a
will.
lot more stories you haven't heard.
Yeah. For sure.
Well, and that's what we got to save it for, so we can get some more stories.
And I like you having vets on your show. That's wonderful.
Oh, we love it. We
Yeah.
love it. The community's been very welcoming, and we appreciate all of them.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Uncle
Love
Lee.
you, Uncle Lee.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining
you.
us.
Cheers. Ciao. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Wow. Dude, we could have went on.
Oh, we definitely could have.
We're definitely we're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to do a generational show.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
That would be
We
cool.
could do something like that. Hey, Mike.
What's up, buddy? I'm not there yet.
I know you're not.
See ya. Hey, another great job. Welcome back. Look
Yeah,
forward to,
appreciate
we
it.
got next week. And we got a lot coming. So
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, for some reason my calendar's not yeah, there is, but it's not even.
and my background decided to do a little dance
Yeah,
here.
you're
So
doing a little dance. Mine's not even on the right one.
it's all good. All right, buddy.
June, July, deuces.
Deuces.